works and all that sort of thing. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to just kind of talk about something that I've come across that seems to help a lot of people, and what I refer to it as is what I refer to as escape routes. Now, basically what happens on an escape route is when you're playing something, you're learning how to play a lick, or you're learning how to play a pattern, or whatever it might be on the guitar, right? Let's say we're in E minor and we're doing something here at the 10th or the 8th, 10th, and 12th frets. So we're sitting right there and we're trying to do something. And we're just making something up. There's some lick that we're learning how to play right there, okay? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take that idea and understand if we wanted to move somewhere, we really have three choices, right? Either we're going to move down the guitar this way, we're going to move up the guitar this way, or we're going to move the guitar up and down this way, right? So what we have to be aware of is when we're learning how to play a lick of some sort, something like that, right? Whatever it might be. There we go. What we want to do is make sure that we wind up on the right finger. And let me show you what I mean. If I was playing this, like, let's say I was just doing something where I'm going 8, 10, 12. So I'm just making some sort of lick like that, right? And I want to move this direction. Okay, I want to move toward my pickups. Now, if I wind up on my pinky when I do a lick, some sort of pattern that I'm playing, I have to be aware, and this is a logical thing, obviously, but I just want you to think about it. As I move into a new position, I'm sliding on my pinky or moving on my pinky, which means that the next pattern that I'm going to play has to be below my fingers because I'm sitting on my pinky. So if I went like this, and now here I am on the 15th fret, I've got to descend into something else. So I've got to have some sort of lick or pattern ready that's a descension from my pinky. Whatever that might be. Let's say that isn't what I wanted. I wanted to wind up on my first finger because I've got a pentatonic lick or something that I want to do. Well, then what I have to be aware of is after I've played this lick in this position, I need to end on my first finger to be able to slide up to go into the next lick, you see? So just being aware that the finger that you're ending on is going to dictate the position that you're moving into. Let's say I wanted to move down, for instance, so I went like this. That's a logical thing to do, go from my first finger, move down a half step. But that does mean that the next thing that's going to come up is going to go above that, right? And that's how you start building this fluent movement across the guitar, is not only learning how to play various licks and patterns and your scales and all those sorts of things, but being aware that when you shift somewhere, whether it's down, whether it's up, or whether it's across the guitar this way, you've got to be on the right finger for the next thing that you want to be able to execute. It's really important to think of it that way. So when I'm playing, now I'm going to have to play something that moves forward with my fingers, obviously. Let's say I didn't want that, though. Let's say I wanted something that kept descending. I might want to go... And then it doesn't require me to have to move forward at all. I can just keep moving down. So it's kind of a cool thing to think about. Now let's just use something a bit more basic. Let's say we were doing something with pentatonic. So I'm going to be in E minor pentatonic. Okay? But I'm going to be down here at the 7th and 9th frets. So I'm going to be using 7 and 9 and 7 and 9 on the 4th and 3rd strings. And I want to get to 12 and 14. Okay? So let's say I play this. And now what I'm going to do is slide up to the 14, which is now going to force my position to have to go downward. I'm just staying on the 3rd and 4th strings now, just so you can kind of see how this works. Obviously, at any point in time, I can move this way as well, but for now, let's just stay on those two strings. So my only choice is to go backwards. Had I slid on my first finger up to the 12, now that would force myself to have to move forward on that string. Or again, I could move up and down, right? You see? Now, if I had slid up, for instance, let's say I slid up on my third finger and I only went to 12, well, that alleviates this position that I wanted to go to. Now I'm stuck down here, which is okay, as long as I know that there's something here in this position, 9 and 12, for instance, that I would have to play to make that fit. So you see how important it is when you shift positions that you wind up on the proper finger, understanding what's coming next, right? Are you going to slide up, or move up, I should say? You can slide, you can do whatever you want. But when you move up, do you want to do something that goes this direction, goes this direction, goes this direction, or this direction? And that's going to dictate what finger you should wind up on to continue on with the lick however you choose to. And it might seem like a small thing, but it's really important to learn how to do that, because oftentimes when I see people play or they have questions about soloing, they're learning how to play licks, or they're learning how to play patterns, or whatever it might be, but they're having a hard time learning how to connect them together. And I think oftentimes the problem is that we learn how to play certain things in certain spaces on the guitar, but we really aren't thinking about connectivity, like really trying to get from that position to the next position and winding up in a finger position that makes sense to execute whatever it is that we're trying to practice. So it's something to think about a little bit, see if it helps you, and respond below. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and we'll keep studying this. If you like this video, please do me a favor and like it and share it, and please subscribe to the channel. Okay, so take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon.